On the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres urged nations to work towards ending the war, emphasizing the need for a just and lasting peace in line with international law. Speaking at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, he reaffirmed that Russia's 2022 invasion violated the UN Charter. His remarks precede a UN vote in New York, where a US-backed resolution calling for Russia's withdrawal faces opposition from Moscow and its allies. As the war enters its fourth year, Ukraine struggles with shifting geopolitical support, while UN Rights Chief Volker Turk stresses that any peace must uphold Ukrainian sovereignty and international law.
We begin this session under the weight of a grim milestone, the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine in violation of the UN Charter. More than 12,600 civilians killed, with many more injured. Entire communities reduced to rubble, hospitals and schools destroyed. We must spare no effort to bring an end to this conflict and to achieve a just and lasting peace in line with the UN Charter, international law and General Assembly resolutions. Conflicts like the war in Ukraine exact a heavy toll.
Protecting human rights and dignity is a full enjoyment of human rights. Moreover, there are great violations and often reason from armed conflicts, climate change, widening inequalities.
Human rights are on the ropes and being pummeled hard. And this represents a direct threat to all of the hard-worked mechanisms and systems established over the last 80 years to protect and advance human rights.
Before handing the floor to our distinguished guests for their opening silence in memory of all victims of human rights violations around the world.
Honorable implementation and security of lasting peace and community defense of a two-state solution.
In the occupied Palestinian territory, violations of human rights have skyrocketed since the horrific Hamas attacks of October 7 and the intolerable levels of death and destruction in Gaza. And I am gravely concerned by the rising violence in the occupied West Bank by Israel's settlers and other violations, as well as calls for annexation.
More than 300 million people now require humanitarian assistance.
Second, the fact of the future advances human rights and development. Sustainable development goals and human rights are fundamental. We are witnessing a precarious ceasefire. We must avoid at all costs a resumption of hostilities. The people in Gaza have already suffered too much. It's time for a permanent ceasefire, the dignified release of all remaining hostages, irreversible progress towards a two-state solution, an end to the occupation, and the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with Gaza as an integral part.
The human suffering and
In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, we see a deadly whirlwind of violence and horrifying human rights abuses, amplified by the recent M23 offensive supported by the Rwandan Defense Forces. As more cities fall, the risk of a regional war rises. It's time to silence the guns. It's time for diplomacy and dialogue. The recent joint summit in Tanzania offered a way forward with a renewed call for an immediate ceasefire. The sovereignty and territorial integrity of the DRC must be respected. The Congolese people deserve peace.
The international system is going through a tectonic shift, and the human rights edifice we have built up so painstakingly over decades has never been under so much strain. Today we mark the 3rd anniversary of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine at a time of escalating civilian casualties, continued wanton destruction of urban areas, and speculation about the war's trajectory. Any sustainable peace must be anchored in the rights, needs and aspirations of the Ukrainian people, in accountability and in the principles of the United Nations Charter and international law.